Hi guys, how you doing, and welcome to a Warlord Wednesday, and today we're looking at the British Tank Troop by Bolt Action, for Bolt Action by Warlord Games. It's a fantastic box set. It's a 1/56 scale hard plastic British Cromwell tanks. Obviously the cruisers as well. Wade saw its first action in the Battle of Normandy in June 1944. The tank was equipped and armoured for reconnaissance regiments and within the 7th and 11th and the Guard Armoured Divisions. It is an awesome piece of kit. Now, why don't we spin this box round and have a look in the inside? But first of all, we're going to look at the back of it, I think. So what does it get? Well, it's an awesome piece of kit. You get 3 tanks inside there, 3 decals, and you also get your instruction sheet with a detailed piece of information on the back to help you on your way. So why don't we have a look at one of the sprues, and I'll see you guys in a second. Hi guys, welcome back. So here we have our 2 sprues. Now it's nice that it only comes on 2 sprues, very much like most of their tanks and most of their stuff all comes on 2 sprues. So what do we have here? Well, we have the upper hull, which was about, the armour on this thing was about 3 inches thick, and it was a very fast moving tank for the British Army, able to move forward quite quickly, spot out the bad guys. It was a great infantry killer as well. Not so much hitting against the larger tanks like the Tiger and the Panther, but it did its job. So what do we get? So we have the main upper hull, lower hull, which is really detailed as well. Lots of stuff going on there. Lovely tracks. Now I've already put some of these together and played around with them, so you'll be able to see that in a second. They've got a lovely shape to them as well, so they sit above the wheels on the top, and they're quite firm on the bottom section. You get the back plate where the engine exhaust fits onto. You get some viewers that sit above the drivers and the gunners compartment, and then you've got these little bits here that you can connect your chains and stuff to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that in there without it blowing too much. There we go. Anyway, then we have on this side, we have the hatches, and we have the gunner hatch as well. So they're fantastic little pieces, and let's look at this. So what have we got here? Well, we have the main turret at the top, the turret ring that it sits on. We have the driver compartment and the gunner, which is that way round. Trust me, I've worked that one out already, which is that way round. So we have the driver this side, and we have the gunner on that side, which is pretty strange compared to the American tanks, the Sherman, which is the opposite way round. We have our hedgerow cutters that were made famous during the D-Day and Normandy landings throughout the bow cages. If you don't know too much about that, you can watch tons and tons of documentaries, as I have, on the subject, so I get my World War II correct. We have the side panels to go on the main turrets, back and front. Then we have the wheel section and the main wheel section here at the back. We also have little rail guards that go either side of the lights, as we can see here. This is our main exhaust section, and the tank, from what I can remember, it was armed with a 75mm gun, and I think it also had something like a Besser machine gun as well. I may be wrong, not too sure, but that fits in on the main turret section as well. And it also comes with a tank commander, which is really detailed, and you're going to have a lot of fun putting this together. It was a nice simple kit to put together. I didn't have too much trouble whatsoever. So you also get in it as well 3 decal sheets, and if I can just get this to focus in for a second, you have to excuse the paint all over my hand, I'm in the middle of painting something. The decal sheets give you a number of different companies and regiments, Irish Guard, Polish, and even Canadian as well, along with all their different regimental numbers and stuff like that. And also squadron markings as well. So it's really quite cool, the amount of stuff that you get within this box set. So why don't we have a look at these all painted up, and I'll see you guys in a second. Hi guys, and welcome back, and here we have our finished product. So what have we got here? Well, we've got 3 Cromwells, each in different stages of awesomeness. So that's a bit cheeky me to say, but these are brilliant little tanks. And I've got to say, I'm quite excited about completing 2 more to have a nice sort of like fast moving squadron, like my 3rd squadron for example. So what do we have here? This is, if I can just get this baby to focus, thank you very much camera. There we go. This is just the basic loadout, but with a different tank commander, because it was something that I wanted to play around with. Now I'm going to go for Irish Guard. It's something that I've wanted to do because I've got a Flames of War Irish Guard, and you remember a while back I challenged Warren from Beasts of War, and we were going to have this massive battle, but he moved back to Ireland, so it never happened. But who knows, maybe one day that battle will take place, maybe in a bolt action phase, who knows. So what do we have here? Well, this is my first Cromwell. I've got to say I was really quite excited about putting this together. I had a lot of fun. It was really good. Tried some different techniques out with it, and it was nice and easy to put together. Didn't have a problem. So that's your basic loadout, but you can do so much more with it by just jazzing it up a little bit, by adding some extras, as you can see here. Now I know for a fact that Warlord Games do a resin Cromwell with camo netting on it and stuff like that, but I thought I'd play around with green stuff and see what I could come up with myself, and this was the end result. Now I've got to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. It gave me a couple of hours of fun just putting some bits and pieces on, and there's so much you can do to these tanks to make them different from everybody else's. I've added like some little damage on the side there, and on the top we have a load of stowage that you can get from Warlord Games just to jazz your tanks up a little bit and make them that little bit more special, and give them a little bit more narrative and character. Again, the tank commander is from Warlord Games as well. And finally we have this little beauty. I call this the banana, and when I was up at Warlord Games and we were talking, I said basically I want to create something that all my tanks that I like the idea of them lived in. So I kind of like the idea of storage and stuff on the back, and so I've hidden a little crate of bananas in the back there, underneath the tarpaulin, for the squadron to have a little bit later, you know, because fruit and I think stuff like that is a bit of a rarity during the Second World War, so they could have nicked that from the officers' mess, and they share out as they go along. I know, I'm telling a load of little backstories to my characters and my tanks, but it makes it really exciting, you know, it gives it a little bit more fun. So as you can see, it's quite easy to put together, and I mean, it looks, as you can see, it looks fantastic once it's put together, even down to the little railings around behind, around the lights, just to protect them, and there's just loads of detail in there, and because it's a plastic tank there's so much you can do to it as well. So guys, I hope that's helped you. I hope you kind of like the idea of you, especially if you're thinking about setting up a British unit, or British Army for bolt action. We're going to be doing some more of that as we go along. We've got our first battle report coming up very soon. Fingers crossed I'm up against the matched Germans, so it's going to be very exciting, and on the tile pieces we've been making as well. So guys, you be good, you be safe, and I'm going to see you very soon. Take care.